This is the Scenario Radio Show. Real talk with a playlist. All right, so now we are going to get into 5 fast facts right here on the Scenario Radio Show. So we are doing something slightly different today with 5 fast facts than we usually do. We're doing what's called the name game. So here's the thing. Charles Ray Wiggins is also known as Raphael Sadiq. Terrius Youngdale is known as The Dream. Talib Hassan Johnson is known as Music Soul Child. You see, there's a theme here with 2000s male artists. Nobody wants to use their name anymore, apparently. So what we decided to do was to find out if you guys knew who these people actually were by hearing their real names and their credits, so to speak. That's what we're doing today with 5 fast facts. So let's start with number 1. Schaefer Shamir Smith. Before landing a deal at Jay-Z's Def Jam Records, this Las Vegas native found his niche in the industry by penning songs for several R&B hitmakers, including Rihanna, Beyonce, Jamie Foxx, and Whitney Houston. His first major hit was Mario's You Should Let Me Love You. Who is Schaefer Shamir Smith?
Neo.
I can see why you decided to choose Neo.
I'm a big Neo fan, so I'm just letting that out the bag now. He ushered me through a lot of heartbreak through these Scarlets, you know.
All right.
So,
okay,
got a special place right here.
All right,
phenomenal writer, such a good writer.
Yes,
great hooks. I really like a lot of Neo's music.
All right, let's go with number 2. Darrell Babbs. Although he got his start as singing tour guide in his hometown of DC, Babbs' music career officially began when he was singing background for Genuine. In 2007, his album Sex, Love, and Pain topped the Billboard R&B charts and was nominated for 2 Grammys.
Well, I know who that is. That's Tank, but I did not know that his real name was Darrell Babbs.
Yeah, interesting. Darrell Babbs don't roll off the tongue like Tank does.
It doesn't. And I'm glad he didn't decide to just go by Babbs.
Darrell.
I can see a Darrell. If you really think about it, Darrell probably would have worked. Sometimes the name works after you put the music out. If you put the right music out, people will accept a lot of different names.
And you know, he sounds like a Darrell now. Like a lot of the music that Tank makes. Like
he does. Yeah, it's not far-fetched at all.
Yeah, because he could have done Rel, because was there a Rel? I don't know. But Tank, I didn't know. I mean, I never thought about what his real name could be, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, although I do wonder why he chose Tank. It is a peculiar name to go by.
Yeah,
there's a lot of vehicles he could have chosen, but Tank, I guess, was working at the time. Who am I to judge? Scooter doesn't have the same ring to it.
It does not. It does not.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
All right, so number 3, Eric Marlon Bishop. Although it took him several decades to find success in the music business, this former church choir leader and student of classical music made his breakthrough in 2004. That year, the singer-pianist rose to number 1 on Billboard. He currently has a reported net worth of $150 million.
Oh, man, the one and only Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, indeed.
Jamie Foxx's name is not Jamie?
Jamie Foxx's name is not Jamie. Yeah. So here's the thing. He chose that name because it sounded unisex. What was happening was when he was, he started as a stand-up comedian and he would do open mics. And a lot of times at open mics, when you sign up, whoever's calling people out is like, well, we need to mix this up some. We need some men, we need some women, we need, X, Y, and Z. And Jamie Foxx was a name they couldn't really put it.
With
tag
the
on.
IE and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he went by Jamie Foxx.
I'm really learning something today.
Yeah. So
wow,
they ended up working out
fun. All right.
All right. So let's go with number 4. I already knew.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll mute myself.
So if there was ever someone who made the right decision to change their name, it was Elgin Lumpkin. Named after legend and fellow Washingtonian Washington native Elgin Baylor, this vocalist began his career as a member of Swing Mob, a Rochester, New York-based record label and music compound founded by Donald Devontae Swing the Great, the leader of the popular 90s R&B group Jodeci. Elgin Lumpkin. I'm gonna let me let because I already know she knows who this is. You know who this is?
Genuine. And his name sounds like he's from Whoville. What in the Dr. Seuss? I'm sorry. That's just always been so funny to me. He just sounds like he's like directly from Whoville. Like that is so funny.
So here's the thing. I recognize that they wanted to name him after Elgin Baylor. Mm-hmm. Great player. I get it. But when you know that your last name is Lumpkin,
yeah,
you just can't do that. You got to make a decision here. It can't be. You can't have both Elgin and Lumpkin in the same name. You got to do something.
Can I tell y'all how I found out about that? Do I have time?
Go ahead.
Okay, so on Arsenio Hall, Genuine was on. He was a guest. He was being interviewed, and Arsenio said something like, Can we say what your real name is, or would you ever tell your real name, or something like that? But all I remember is that he was like, well, I don't really talk about that. But my son's name is, I want to give a shout out to my son, Elgin Lumpkin Jr. That's how I found out. So I'm like, so if he's a junior and he's your son, that means your name is Elgin Lumpkin. That's how I found that out. And I was laughing just like I just laughed and cried.
Yeah.
Wow. Guess you can't be handsome and have brains. Like, what would you do that? Like, my pal.
You got to have some strike against you. At the end of the day, it's like if you're gonna have 6-pack abs, you might as well be called Elgin Lumpkin.
And see, I mean, he couldn't have it all. He could not have it all. It wouldn't be fair.
You can't have that manicured mustache and still have a good name too. Yeah, something's got to give here. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I have cried real tears.
All right, number 5, Chester Jermaine Jennings. This Ohio-bred singer and multi-instrumentalist landed a deal with Columbia Records after winning the amateur competition at the world-famous Apollo Theater 5 times in a row. The earthy sound of his debut caused many fans to refer to his music as folk soul. Chester Jermaine Jennings. Who is it?
I'm so glad he changed his name to Life, because Chester. Chester, oh my God.
It is indeed Life Jennings. You can't, it hasn't been a Chester at the top of the charts since
the 50s, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure if you go back to the 40s and 50s, there's probably a Chester. It's probably like a Chester and like Chester Jones and the Silk Tones or something. But yeah, you can't.
Right. That was acceptable.
Yeah.
That was acceptable. Unexpected.
Chester and the Chesterfields or something. You can't do that now, though. It ain't going to work now. It's interesting about Life. The only thing I always found that was really interesting about Life was he was somebody you either hot or cold on, because that voice is something you either love it or you don't. But what he was, somebody like him and Jaheim, what they brought to that era is something that you also don't get a lot of in any other era.
No.
Yeah. I really like Life's voice a lot. I always have. So I'm on the hot part of that. I really like his voice.
Yeah, me too.
Well, as you see, like we said before, a lot of guys out there, a lot of name changing going on in the 2000s. If it's the era of nothing else, it is the era of that.
This is the Scenario Radio Show. Real talk with a playlist.